Welcome to the comprehensive study notes based on the Ncert Science textbook for Class 8. This series provides a clear, concise, and structured summary of all the key chapters, designed to help you quickly review and master the core concepts in science. Ncert Revision Series Class 9 Motion Definition, movement of an object from one position to another relative to an observer. Simplest type, motion along a straight line. Distance versus displacement concept definition: quantity, distance, total path length covered, no regard to direction. Scalar, magnitude only, displacement the shortest distance from the initial to the final position. Vector, magnitude and direction, types of motion: uniform motion, moving along a straight line with constant speed. Average speed equals actual speed. Non-uniform motion, moving along a straight line where the speed keeps changing. Speed and velocity: speed, distance covered per unit time. O quantity, scalar. OSI unit, $m/s, meter per second. O formula, average speed equals frac total distance traveled total time taken velocity, speed of an object moving in a definite direction. O quantity, vector. OSI unit, m/. O can be changed by changing speed, direction, or both. O average velocity, uniform rate $v_av equals u plus v2 black small square u, initial velocity, v, final velocity. Acceleration definition, measure of the change in the velocity of an object per unit time. Formula, a equals change in velocity time taken, a equals \frac v, UTSI unit, m/s²2, meter per second squared. Types of acceleration: positive acceleration, in the direction of velocity, speeding up. Negative acceleration, retardation/deceleration opposite to the direction of velocity, slowing down. Uniform acceleration, velocity changes by equal amounts in equal intervals, example a freely falling body. Non-uniform acceleration, velocity changes by unequal amounts in equal intervals. Graphical representation of motion: graphs are a convenient way to present information about motion. 1 distance time graphs, dt, uniform speed, a straight line with a constant positive slope. Non-uniform speed, a curved line, nonlinear. 2 velocity time graphs, vt, area under vt graph gives the distance or displacement. Slope of vt graph gives the acceleration. Uniform motion, constant velocity/0 acceleration, a horizontal line parallel to the time axis. Uniform acceleration, a straight line with a constant positive slope. Equations of motion: these equations relate $v, $u, $a, $t, and $s for an object moving along a straight line with uniform acceleration, $a. No. Equation relation: 1v equals u plus at velocity time 2s equals ut plus 1 2 at (2) position time 3 2s equals v(2), u(2) position velocity u, initial velocity, v, final velocity, a, acceleration, t, time, s, distance traveled. Uniform circular motion definition, an object moves in a circular path with a uniform, constant, speed. Key feature, the direction of velocity continuously changes, so the motion is always accelerated motion. Speed formula, v equals 2 pi r/tor, radius of the circle, 2 pi r, circumference. Force, introduction definition, a push or a pull on a body that causes or tends to cause acceleration. SI unit, Newton, N, which is also kg/ms²2. Effects of force: 1. Can change the speed of a body. 2. Can change the direction of motion of a body. 3. Can change the shape of a body. Balanced versus unbalanced forces: balanced force, 2 or more forces of the same magnitude applied in opposite directions. O result, no change in the state of rest or motion. Net force is 0. Unbalanced force, forces of different magnitudes applied in opposite directions. O result, object accelerates, changes speed or direction, in the direction of the greater force. O requirement, an unbalanced force is required to accelerate an object. Newton's first law of motion, law of inertia, statement, an object remains in a state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless acted upon by an unbalanced external force. Inertia definition, the tendency of an object to resist a change in its state of motion or rest. Inertia and mass, the mass of an object is a measure of its inertia. More mass, more inertia. Newton's second law of motion statement, the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the applied unbalanced force and acts in the direction of the force. Momentum, p, definition, the product of an object's mass, m, and velocity, v. Formula, p equals m times v quantity, vector, same direction as velocity. SI unit, kg m s mathematical formulation force, F, equals mass, m, times acceleration, a, F equals ma. Application example: cricket fielder, pulls hands backward while catching a ball to increase the time, delta t, taken to stop the ball. O increasing delta t decreases the rate of change of momentum, which reduces the force, impact, felt on the hands, F proto 1 delta t. Newton's third law of motion statement, to every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Key points: action and reaction are equal, they have equal magnitude but opposite direction. Act on different objects, the action and reaction forces never act on the same object. They exist as a pair. Acceleration difference, even if forces are equal, the accelerations may not be equal because the objects have different masses, A equals F/m. O example, when a gun fires a bullet, the force on the bullet is equal and opposite to the force, recoil, on the gun. Since mass of gun, mass of bullet, the acceleration of the gun is much less. Conservation of momentum, law of conservation of momentum, O in a collision, the total momentum of the two objects before collision is equal to the total momentum after collision, provided no external unbalanced force acts on them. Simply, total momentum of an isolated system is conserved, unchanged. Image illustrating a collision of two balls with initial and final momentum vectors: gravitation and universal law. Gravitational force, the force of attraction that exists between all objects in the universe. Universal law of gravitation, every object attracts every other object with a force, F1. Proportional to the product of their masses, m/m. 2. Inversely proportional to the square of the distance, d2, between them. Formula, F equals g frac mm d2 og, universal gravitational constant, 6.673 times 10 11 n m2 kg2. Importance, explains the force that binds us to Earth, the motion of the moon and planets, and the cause of tides. Kepler's laws of planetary motion. These laws describe the motion of planets around the Sun. Day 1. Law of orbits, the orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the Sun at one of the foci. 2. Law of areas, the line joining the planet and the Sun sweeps equal areas in equal intervals of time. 3. Law of periods, the cube of the mean distance, r, of a planet from the Sun is proportional to the square of its orbital period, t. Frac r/3t/2 equals constant free fall and acceleration due to gravity, g, free fall, when an object falls towards the Earth under the influence of gravitational force alone. Neglecting air resistance. Acceleration due to gravity, g, the acceleration produced in an object due to the Earth's gravitational force. OSI unit, m/s/2. O formula, on Earth g equals frac g mr/2. Approximate value on Earth, g approximate 9.8 m/s/2. O mass versus weight. Feature: mass, m, weight, w, definition: measure of the amount of matter/inertia. Force of attraction towards the Earth. Formula, W equals m times g units kilogram, kg, Newton N, same as force, change constant, does not change from place to place. Varies, depends on $G, changes from place to place. Weight on the moon, the weight of an object on the moon is 1/6 of its weight on Earth, W moon equals \frac 1/6 W_Earth. Fluid mechanics, thrust, pressure, and density. Thrust, the net force acting perpendicular to a surface. Pressure, P the thrust, force, per unit area, A. O formula, P equals \frac thrust \area OSI unit, Pascal, \Pa, which is $N/m². Density, \rho mass per unit volume. O formula, \rho equals \frac mass volume OSI unit kg/m²3. Relative density, the ratio of the density of a substance to the density of water. It has no unit. Buoyancy and Archimedes' principle. Buoyancy, buoyant force, an upward force exerted by a fluid on an object wholly or partly immersed in it. Sinking and floating, O objects with density less than the fluid float. O objects with density greater than the fluid sink. Archimedes' principle, when a body is immersed, fully or partially, in a fluid, it experiences an upward buoyant force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Applications, O designing ships and submarines. O lactometers, purity of milk, and hydrometers, density of liquids. Work. Scientific definition, work is done only when two conditions are met: 1. A force, F, acts on an object. 2. The object is displaced, S, in the direction of the force. Formula, work done, W, equals force, F, times displacement, S, quantity, scalar, has magnitude, no direction. SI unit, joule, \J, which is \text Newton \meter, and \m. Sign of work, O positive work, force is in the direction of displacement. O negative work, force is opposite to the direction of displacement, example friction. Energy definition, the capacity of a body for doing work. Quantity, scalar. SI unit, joule, J, same as work. O1 \kj equals 1000 \J. Forms of energy, mechanical, kinetic plus potential, heat, chemical, electrical, light. 1. Kinetic energy, E_K, definition, energy possessed by an object due to its motion. Increases with speed. Formula, for an object of mass, m, and velocity, V_k equals \frac 12 mv²22. Potential energy E_p, definition, energy possessed by an object due to its position or configuration, example stretched rubber band. Gravitational potential energy, at height h, the work done against gravity to raise the object from the ground. O formula, E_p equals mgh black small square om, mass, g, acceleration due to gravity, h, height. Note, it depends only on the vertical height difference, not the path taken. Law of conservation of energy statement, energy can only be converted from one form to another, it can neither be created nor destroyed. Total energy is constant, the total energy before and after any transformation remains the same. Mechanical energy, the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy remains constant. E_p plus E_k equals \constant mgh plus \frac 12 mv²2 equals \constant power. Definition, the rate of doing work or the rate of transfer of energy. Power measures the speed of work done. Commercial unit of energy kilowatt-hour. Kilowatt-hour, the unit commonly used for electrical energy consumption. Definition, the energy used in 1 hour at the rate of 1 /kW. Sound, the basics. Definition, a form of energy that produces the sensation of hearing. Propagation, wave, a disturbance that moves through a medium, carrying energy without the particles of the medium moving forward themselves. Mechanism, a vibrating object creates alternating regions, O compression, C region of high pressure, particles close together. O rarefaction, R region of low pressure, particles spread apart. Medium requirement: sound needs a medium, solid, liquid, or gas, to travel. Sound cannot travel through a vacuum. Wavy characteristics of sound waves: sound waves are longitudinal, particles of the medium move parallel to the direction of wave propagation, back and forth. Transverse waves, particles move perpendicular, up and down, to the direction of wave propagation, example light, water ripples. Key wave properties: symbol definition: SI unit related to hearing meter, wavelength lambda, distance between two consecutive compressions, or rarefactions. Frequency: new number of oscillations per unit time. Hertz: time period T, time for one complete oscillation. Second \nu equals 1/t, amplitude, maximum displacement on either side of the mean value. Meter, pitch, loudness. Pitch, how the brain interprets frequency. Higher frequency to higher pitch. Loudness, determined by amplitude and is the response of the ear, not the same as intensity. Tone, sound of a single frequency. Note, sound produced by a mixture of several frequencies, pleasant. Speed formula: V equals \lambda\nu, speed equals wavelength \times frequency, speed of sound and sonic boom. Speed dependence, depends on the properties of the medium and temperature. O order, speed is generally highest in solids to liquids to lowest in gases. O temperature, speed increases as temperature increases. Supersonic speed, when an object's speed exceeds the speed of sound. Sonic boom, a sharp, loud sound produced by the shock waves generated when an object, like a jet, travels at supersonic speed. Reflection of sound: echo, the distinct hearing of a reflected sound. Requires a minimum time interval of 0.1 \s between original and reflected sound. Reverberation, the persistence of sound due to repeated reflections in a large hall. Excessive reverberation is undesirable. Uses of multiple reflection: megaphones, horns, stethoscopes, and curved ceilings in concert halls. Range of hearing: audible range, humans 20 Hz, 20,000 \Hz, 20 kHz. Infrasound, frequencies below 20 Hz. Example: rhinos, whales, and natural phenomena like earthquakes. Ultrasound, frequencies higher than 20 kHz. Example: dolphins, bats, porpoises. Applications of ultrasound: cleaning hard to reach parts. Flaw detection, checking metal blocks for cracks and defects. Medical, echocardiography, heart imaging, ultrasonography, imaging internal organs, breaking kidney stones. Sonar, sound navigation and ranging, uses ultrasonic waves to measure distance, direction, and speed of underwater objects, example: submarines, sea depth. Structure of the human ear: the ear converts sound pressure variations into electrical signals for the brain. Outer ear, pinna collects sound and channels it through the auditory canal to the eardrum. Middle ear, 3 bones: the eardrum vibrates and transmits vibrations to 3 tiny bones, hammer, anvil, stirrup, which amplify the signal. Inner ear, cochlea receives amplified vibrations, converting pressure variations into electrical signals. Auditory nerve, sends electrical signals to the brain, where they are interpreted as sound. Chemistry: matter and its particles. Matter, everything in the universe is made of matter. It must have mass and occupy volume. O Panchtutv, early Indian classification: air, earth, fire, sky, and water. Characteristics of matter particles: 1. Have space between them, particles of one substance can fit into the spaces of another, example: sugar dissolving in water. 2. Are continuously moving, they possess kinetic energy. O temperature effect, increasing temperature kinetic energy, particles move faster. 3. Attract each other, an attractive force keeps the particles together. 4. Intermix on their own, diffusion, the spontaneous intermixing of particles of different types of matter. O diffusion becomes faster on heating. States of matter. Matter primarily exists in three states: solid, liquid, and gas. Property: solid state, liquid state, gaseous state. Shape: definite, rigid, no fixed shape, takes shape of container, no fixed shape, fills container. Volume: fixed, fixed, no fixed volume. Low, high, highly compressible, compressibility negligible. Particle spacing: least space, greater space than solids. Largest space. Diffusion rate: lowest, very fast, higher than solids. Gas pressure, caused by the force exerted by gas particles per unit area on the walls of the container due to random high-speed movement. Aquatic life: gases diffuse and dissolve in water, which is essential for the survival of aquatic organisms. Changing the state of matter. Matter can change its state by changing temperature or pressure. Shutterstock: explore a effect of temperature. Melting point: the minimum temperature at which a solid melts to become a liquid at atmospheric pressure. Melting point of ice, 273.15 /K. Fusion: the process of changing the solid state to the liquid state, melting. Latent heat of fusion: the amount of heat energy required to change of solid into liquid at its melting point and atmospheric pressure without a rise in temperature. Boiling point: the temperature at which a liquid starts boiling, changing to gas, at atmospheric pressure. Boiling point of water, 373 /K, 100 /circc. Latent heat of vaporization: the amount of heat energy required to change of liquid into gas at its boiling point and atmospheric pressure without a rise in temperature. Sublimation: direct change of state from solid to gas, example camphor, without becoming liquid. Deposition: direct change of state from gas to solid without becoming liquid. Effect of pressure: applying high pressure and reducing temperature can liquefy gases. Dry ice, solid Co_2 is stored under high pressure. It converts directly to the gaseous state. Sublimation: when pressure decreases to 1 /atm. Evaporation. Definition: the phenomenon of a liquid changing into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point. Factors increasing the rate of evaporation: 1. Increase in surface area, example spreading clothes. 2. Increase in temperature, particles gain enough kinetic energy. 3. Decrease in humidity, less water vapor already in the air. 4. Increase in wind speed, vapor particles are swept away. Evaporation causes cooling. Particles of the liquid absorb the necessary energy, latent heat of vaporization, from the surroundings to regain lost kinetic energy and evaporate. Cooling effect: this absorption of heat from the surroundings, or body surface, makes the surroundings cool. Example sweating, sprinkling water on roofs. 5 states of matter. 1. Solid, liquid, gas, discussed above. 2. Plasma, state of super-energetic and super-excited particles, ionized gases. Found in fluorescent tubes, neon sign bulbs, and the sun and stars, due to very high temperature. 3. Bose-Einstein condensate, Beck formed by cooling a gas of extremely low density to super low temperatures. Predicted by Albert Einstein based on calculations by Satyendranath Bose. Classification of matter. Pure substances. Definition: consist of a single kind of particle. Composition: fixed chemical composition. Categories: 1. Elements, cannot be broken down into simpler substances by chemical reactions, example gold, oxygen, iron. Black. Small square metals, lustrous, ductile, malleable, good conductors, example copper, iron. Mercury is the only liquid metal. Black. Small square nonmetals, poor conductors, not lustrous, not sonorous, example oxygen, carbon, bromine. Bromine is a liquid nonmetal. Black. Small square metalloids, intermediate properties between metals and nonmetals, example silicon, boron. 2. Compounds, composed of 2 or more elements chemically combined in a fixed proportion. 3. Mixtures. Definition: constituted by more than one kind of pure substance, particles. Composition: variable composition. Categories: 1. Homogeneous mixture, Solution has a uniform composition throughout, example salt in water, air. Black small square alloys are homogeneous mixtures of metals/nonmetals that cannot be separated by physical methods. 2. Heterogeneous mixture, has physically distinct parts and a non-uniform composition, example sand and salt, oil and water. Solutions, homogeneous mixtures, components, O solvent, component present in the larger amount, dissolves the solute, example water. O solute, component present in the lesser amount, dissolved in the solvent, example sugar, iodine in tincture of iodine. Properties of a solution. 1. Homogeneous. 2 particles are very small, 1 nanometer, cannot be seen by naked eyes. 3 does not scatter a beam of light, Tyndall effect is not shown. 4 stable, solute particles do not settle down. Concentration dilute, relatively small amount of solute. Concentrated, relatively large amount of solute. Saturated, a solution that has dissolved the maximum amount of solute it can hold at a given temperature. Unsaturated, contains less solute than the saturation level. Suspensions and colloids, these are both heterogeneous mixtures. Feature suspension appearance heterogeneous colloidal solution appears homogeneous, but is heterogeneous, particle size large, visible to naked eye, small, cannot be seen by naked eye, Tyndall effect scatters light, path is visible, scatters light, path is visible, stability unstable, particles settle down, stable, particles do not settle down, separation filtration works filtration fails, centrifugation used Tyndall effect, the scattering of a beam of light by large particles. In a colloid or suspension, example light through a dense forest canopy. Colloid components, O dispersed phase, the solute-like component, example fat in milk. O dispersion medium, the solvent-like component in which the phase is suspended, example water in milk. Separating mixture components evaporation, separating a volatile solvent from a non-volatile solute, example dye from ink. Centrifugation, separating very small/denser particles from a liquid by rapid spinning, denser particles forced to the bottom. O applications, separating cream from milk, blood/urine tests, squeezing water from clothes. Chromatography, separating solutes that dissolve in the same solvent, example colors in a dye, drugs from blood. Distillation, separating two miscible liquids with a large difference in boiling points. Fractional distillation, used when the difference in boiling points is less, example separating gases from air, petroleum products. O air separation, air is compressed, cooled to liquid, then allowed to warm up in a column, separating gases at different temperatures. Crystallization, separating a pure solid in crystal form from a solution. O better than evaporation, prevents decomposition/charring of solids on heating and removes soluble impurities. Example purification of sea salt, alum crystals. Physical versus chemical change. Physical change, chemical change, only physical properties change, color, density, state. Chemical composition changes. No change in chemical nature. New substances with different properties are formed. Change is often reversible, example melting. Change is often irreversible, example ice, burning. Dalton's atomic theory provided the basis for the law of conservation of mass and the law of definite proportions. Postulates, key ideas. 1. All matter is made of tiny, indivisible particles called atoms. 2. Atoms cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. 3. Atoms of the same element are identical, mass and properties. 4. Atoms of different elements have different masses and properties. 5. Atoms combine in simple whole number ratios to form compounds. 6. The relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. Atom and atomic mass. Atom, the fundamental, very small particle that constitutes all matter. Atomic radius, measured in nanometers. Atomic mass unit. Standard reference, the carbon-12 isotope was chosen as the standard. Definition, One atomic mass unit is a mass unit exactly equal to 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon-12. Relative atomic mass, the average mass of an atom compared to 1/12 the mass of one carbon-12 atom. Elements, symbols, and molecules nomenclature. Names of elements are approved by IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Symbol rules: 1. Often the first one or two letters of the English name, example hydrogen, aluminium. 2. The first letter is always capitalized, the second is small, co, not co. 3. Some are derived from Latin/Greek names, example iron, Fe from ferrum, sodium, Na from natrium. Molecule, the smallest particle of an element or compound that is capable of independent existence and shows the substance's properties. Atomicity, the number of atoms constituting a molecule. O monoatomic, AR, He, one atom. O diatomic, O_2, two atoms. Compound combining elements ratio by mass: water hydrogen, oxygen 1:8 ammonia nitrogen, hydrogen 14, 3 ions, charged species found in compounds of metals and nonmetals. O cation, positively charged ion. O anion, negatively charged ion. O polyatomic ion, a group of atoms carrying a net charge valency, the combining power, or capacity, of an element. Used to write chemical formulae. Molecular mass and formula unit mass. Molecular mass, the sum of the atomic masses of all atoms in a molecule. Formula unit mass, calculated identically to molecular mass, but used for substances whose constituent particles are ions. Mole concept: mole, the chemist's counting unit. 1 mole of any species, atoms, molecules, ions, is the quantity having a mass equal to its atomic or molecular mass in grams. Avogadro number, the number of particles present in 1 mole of any substance. Molar mass, the mass of a substance, which is equal to its relative atomic or molecular mass expressed in grams. Subatomic particles. Dalton's theory failure, the discovery of subatomic particles proved that the atom is divisible. Particle symbol: discoverer, charge electron E_J Thomson, location negative, orbits the 1, nucleus mass, relative, negligible 1/1837 of a proton. Particle symbol: discoverer, charge proton P plus neutron N, location mass, relative, nucleus 1/UJ Chadwick neutral, 0, nucleus 1/UE Goldstein positive, +1, atomic models 1. Thomson's model analogy, Christmas pudding or watermelon model. Proposal: an atom is a positively charged sphere with electrons embedded in it. Neutrality: the negative and positive charges are equal, making the atom electrically neutral as a whole. 2. Rutherford's model, alpha particle scattering experiment, observations: 1. Most \alpha particles passed straight through. 2. Few were deflected at small angles. 3. Very few, 1 in 12,000, rebounded, deflected by 180°/CIRC. Conclusions: 1. Most space in the atom is empty. 2. The positive charge and mass are concentrated in a very small, dense center called the nucleus. Model features: 1. Atom has a positively charged nucleus. 2. Electrons revolve around the nucleus in circular paths. Drawback: could not explain the stability of the atom. Revolving charged electrons should radiate energy and spiral into the nucleus. 3. Bohr's model postulates: 1. Electrons revolve only in special, discrete orbits, or shells. 2. Electrons do not radiate energy while revolving in these discrete orbits. Energy levels: shells represented by letters electron distribution and valency. Bohr-Berry rules for electron distribution: 1. Maximum capacity of a shell, 2 N2. 2. The maximum number of electrons in the outermost orbit is 8. 3. Inner shells must be filled before outer shells. Valency, the combining capacity of an element. It is the number of electrons an atom gains, loses, or shares to achieve a stable outermost shell, usually 8 electrons. Atomic number and mass number. Atomic number, ZO, total number of protons present in the nucleus. O defines the identity of the element. Mass number, AO sum of the total number of protons and neutrons, called nucleons, in the nucleus. OA equals number of protons plus number of neutrons. Notation for an atom, isotopes and isobars concept definition example atoms of the same element with same atomic number, Z, isotopes but different mass numbers, A. Different number of neutrons. Hydrogen, isobars atoms of different elements with different atomic numbers, Z, but the same mass number, A. Applications of isotopes: uranium isotope, fuel in nuclear reactors. Cobalt isotope, treatment of cancer. Iodine isotope, treatment of goitre. Argon biology. Here are the condensed notes on tissues, covering both plant and animal tissues, structured for a PPT presentation. Tissues, the basics. Tissue definition, a group of cells that are similar in structure and or work together to achieve a particular function. Examples: blood, phloem, muscle. Plant versus animal tissue differences feature plants, sedentary, animals, active locomotion, movement, stationary fixed, move around, high energy consumption, main tissue type, large quantity of supportive tissue, often dead cells. Most tissues are living. Growth localized to specific regions, meristematic. More uniform growth, no distinct dividing regions. Organization: less specialized organ systems. Highly specialized and localized organ systems. Plant tissues: A. Meristematic tissues, dividing tissue, function, responsible for growth in specific regions. Cell characteristics: very active, dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose walls, prominent nuclei, lack vacuoles. Types: 1. Apical meristem, found at the growing tips of stems and roots, increases length. 2. Lateral meristem, cambium, increases the girth, width/diameter, of the stem/root. 3. Intercalary meristem, located near the node, seen in some plants. B. Permanent tissues formation, cells formed by meristematic tissue undergo differentiation, take up a permanent shape, size, and function, and lose the ability to divide. 1. Simple permanent tissue, made of one type of cell, tissue type, cell nature, location/structure, living, loosely arranged, unspecialized, thin, large intercellular walls. Spaces. Parenchyma, primary function, store food. Example: chlorenchyma for photosynthesis, aerenchyma for buoyancy in aquatic plants. Living, elongated, irregularly, cholenchyma, thickened at corners. Very little intercellular space. Provides flexibility and mechanical support, example in tendrils, climber stems. Dead cells, long, narrow, walls, sclerenchyma, highly thickened due to lignin. Stems, around vascular bundles, husk of coconut. Makes the plant hard and stiff, provides strength. 2. Complex permanent tissue, conducting/vascular tissues, made of more than one type of cell that coordinate to perform a common function. Xylem, O components, tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. O function, transports water and minerals vertically from roots. O note, tracheids and vessels are dead cells when mature. Phloem, O components, sieve cells, sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers, phloem parenchyma. O function, transports food from leaves to other parts of the plant. O note, phloem fibers are the only dead cells, others are living. 3. Protective tissue, epidermis, outermost single layer of cells covering the entire plant surface. O function, protection against water loss, mechanical injury, and parasitic fungi. O stomata, small pores on the leaf epidermis enclosed by guard cells. Essential for gas exchange and transpiration, water loss. O cutin/suberin, waxy, waterproof coating, cutin, or substance, suberin in cork cells, for protection, especially in dry habitats. O cork cells, dead, compactly arranged cells that form a strip of secondary meristem, impervious to gases/water due to suberin. Animal tissues are classified into epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. A epithelial tissue, covering/protective, forms the outer covering and lining of most organs and cavities. Forms a barrier to keep systems separate. Location examples: skin, lining of mouth/blood vessels, lung alveoli. Separation, always separated from underlying tissue by an extracellular fibrous basement membrane. Type, shape/structure. Location examples: primary function simple squamous, extremely thin and flat, delicate lining. Lining of blood selective vessels, lung, transportation of alveoli, esophagus, substances. Mouth. Stratified squamous, arranged in many layers. Skin. Prevents wear and tear, protection. Columnar, pillar-like, tall epithelial cells. Inner lining of the intestine, respiratory tract. Facilitates absorption and secretion, movement across barrier. Ciliated columnar cells with cilia, hair-like projections. Respiratory tract. Movement of cilia pushes mucus forward to clear it. Type, shape/structure. Location examples: primary function cuboidal, cube-shaped cells. Lining of kidney tubules, ducts of salivary glands. Provides mechanical support. Glandular epithelium folds inward to form glands. A multicellular gland. Secretion of substances. B. Connective tissue, binding and support. Cells are loosely spaced and embedded in an intercellular matrix, fluid, jelly, dense, or rigid. Tissue type: matrix type/composition structure/function blood fluid matrix, plasma, containing proteins, salts, hormones. Transports gases, food, hormones, and waste, RBCs, WBCs, platelets suspended. Bone hard, rigid matrix, calcium forms the body framework, anchors and phosphorus compounds. Muscles and supports organs. Ligament: very little matrix, very elastic with considerable strength. Connects bone to bone. Tendon: fibrous tissue, great strength but limited flexibility. Connects muscle to bone. Cartilage: solid matrix, proteins and sugars, widely spaced cells. Smooth hens: bone surfaces at joints, found in ear, nose, trachea. Areolar: jelly-like matrix. Fills space inside organs, supports internal organs, found between skin and muscles. Adipose: filled with fat globules. Found below skin and between organs. Stores fat, acts as an insulator. C. Muscular tissue, movement, consists of elongated cells, muscle fibers, containing contractile proteins that contract and relax. Type: control cell structure. Location: conscious will, voluntary. Long, cylindrical, unbranched, multinucleate, shows light/dark bands, striations. Attached to bones, limbs. Unstriated, smooth/involuntary, not by will, involuntary. Alimentary: long, spindle-shaped canal, iris of, pointed ends, unii, ureters, nucleate, no striations. Bronchi. Cardiac: involuntary, rhythmic contraction. Cylindrical, branched, uninucleate, shows heart. Striations. Striated, skeletal/voluntary, D. Nervous tissue, stimulus transmission, specialized for receiving stimulation and transmitting the stimulus rapidly. Components: brain, spinal cord, nerves. Neuron, nerve cell. The functional unit O consists of a cell body, with nucleus and cytoplasm. O. Axon, single long part, transmits signal away from the cell body. O. Dendrites, many short, branched parts, receive signals. O. Nerve impulse, the signal that passes along the nerve fiber, allowing movement and communication. Here are the condensed notes on diversity in living organisms, structured for a clear PPT presentation. Classification and evolution. Cellular foundation. Eukaryotic cells, with membrane-bound organelles and a nucleus, allow for specialization and the formation of multicellular organisms using the principle of division of labor. Evolution, the accumulation of changes in body design over time, allowing organisms to survive better. First described by Charles Darwin in The Origin of Species, 1859. Biodiversity, the variety of life forms found in a particular region. Omegadiversity, the warm and humid tropical regions, between tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, are rich in biodiversity. Hierarchy of classification. Linnean system. Biological classification uses a hierarchy based on increasingly specific shared characteristics. The Five Kingdoms, Whitaker, 1969. Classification is based on cell structure, mode of nutrition, and body organization. Kinged cell type. Cell wall. Body design. Mode of nutrition. Examples: prokaryotic monomer, no defined presence of unicellular nucleus organ cells, bacteria, cyanobact. Autotrophic area, blue or green heterotrophy. Algae, see mycoplasma. Protist. Eukaryotic. A, unicellular autotrophic algae, or diatoms, heterotrophy. Protozoans. C. Present of unicellular scent. Present, made of chitin, yeasts, heterotrophy. Molds, see mushroom. Unicellular multic, saprotroph. S, lichens. Ellular. S, or symbiotic parasites, with algae. Planta. Eukaryotic. Present. E, multicellular, autotrophic, photosynth. All plants. Esis, eukaryotic. Fungi, multi or unicellular, multicellular. Kinged cell type. Cell wall. Anima. Eukaryotic. Absent. Lia, multicellular, body design. Mode of nutrition. Multicellular. Heterotrophy. All sea animals. Examples: kingdom. Plants are broadly classified based on body differentiation and presence of reproductive parts seeds. I. Cryptogams, hidden reproductive organs, group undifferentiated body, thallus. Thallophyta. Predominantly aquatic. Bryophyta. Common name. Body differentiation. Vascular tissue. Example: differentiated into stem/leaf-like structures. Absent. Spirogyra, chara, ulva. Algae. Absent. Moss, Funaria, Marchantia. Amphibians of the plant kingdom present differentiated into specialized Pteridophyta. True roots, stem, and tissue for leaves conduction. Marsilia, ferns, horsetails. 2. Phanerogams, visible reproductive organs, plants with well-differentiated reproductive parts that ultimately make seeds. Seeds consist of the embryo and stored food for initial growth. Group. Seed structure. Naked seeds. Gymnosperms, gymno equals naked, sperma equals seed. Characteristics. Examples: usually perennial, pinus, deodar, evergreen, and woody. Group. Seed structure. Characteristics. Examples: angiosperms, covered seeds, angio equals covered, sperma equals seed. Flowering plants. Seeds develop inside an ovary, which becomes the fruit. Monocots, 1 cotyledon, and dicots, 2 cotyledons. Kingdom. Animalia. Animals are eukaryotic, multicellular, heterotrophic, and lack cell walls. Most are mobile. Non-chordates, invertebrates, phylum. Key features: symmetry /layers, porifera, holes /pores all over body, canal system. None for water, asymmetrical, circulation. Minimal tissue differentiation. Coelenterata. Body cavity, 2 layers of cells, diploblastic. Radial chylome. Examples: absent sponges, non-motile, marine. Absent jellyfish, sea anemones, hydra, solitary or colonial. Body flattened. Planar eons. Dorsoventrally absent. Platyhelminth. Bilateral /triploblast, free-living, flatworms. Achylomat. Sic. Liver flukes. No true E, parasitic. Chylome. Nematoda. Pseudobody. Bilateral /triploblast. Chylome. Cylindrical, false, roundworms, IC cavity, tissues. Filary. All worms, elephantiasis, roundworms. Phylum Key features symmetry / layers Chylome examples present, no real organs. Annelida true body cavity, segmental bilateral / triploblast true differentiation IC chylome, head to tail segments. Arthropoda jointed legs, prawns, largest group, insects, flies, bilateral / segment reduced, open butterflies, D blood-filled circulatory spiders, system. Scorpions. Mollusca little segmentation, reduced chylome, open circulatory bilateral system, kidney-like excretion organs. Foot for movement. Reduced earthworms, leeches. Snails, mussels. Spiny skinned, peculiar water-driven tube radial echinodermat system for true, adults, / triploblastia movement. Chylome C hard $/ text caco _$3 skeleton. Sea stars, sea urchins, exclusively marine. Bilaterally protochordata symmetrical, possess a notochord balanoglossu S, herdmania, marine. Bilateral / triploblast true IC chylome phylum Key features symmetry / layers chylome examples, long, rod-like support, at some stage of life. Phylum Chordata, vertebrates, animals with a true vertebral column and internal skeleton. All chordates possess, notochord, dorsal nerve cord, triploblastic, paired gill pouches, cillimate. Class Key features jawless vertebrates, eel-like body, circular cyclostomata mouth, scaleless. Ectoparasites. Heart chambers body temp. 2 Petromazan cold, lamprey, mixine blooded, hagfish. 2 Sharks, cartilage cold skeleton, blooded rohu / tuna, bone and cartilage. Pisces, fish, exclusively aquatic, streamlined body, gills for oxygen, scales / plates. Amphibia found on land and water, mucus glands in skin, respiration via 3 gills / lungs / skin. Lay eggs in water. Reptilia scales, breathe via lungs, lay eggs with tough coverings, don't need water. Aves, birds, feathers covering, forelimbs modified for foreflight, breathe via lungs. Lay eggs. Examples: cold frogs, toads, blooded salamanders. 3 Snakes, turtles, cold, crocodiles lizards, blooded have 4, crocodiles. Warm all birds. Blooded class Key features Mammalia possess mammary glands to nourish young, skin has hairs, sweat, and oil glands. Most give birth to live young. Heart chambers body temp. 4 Humans, cows, whales, platypus worm, lays eggs, blooded kangaroo, marsupial. Examples: health and disease. Health, a state of being well enough to function well physically, mentally, and socially. Key factors: individual health depends on surroundings, public cleanliness, social equality, and harmony. Getty Images disease, means disturbed ease, being uncomfortable. Occurs when the functioning of one or more body systems changes for the worse. Symptoms, things the patient feels, example headache, cough. Signs, what a physician looks for to indicate the presence of a specific disease. Types of disease: acute diseases, last for a very short period, example common cold. Minor long-term effects. Chronic diseases, last for a long time, even a lifetime, example elephantiasis, tuberculosis. Have drastic long-term effects on health. Causes of disease: A. Infectious causes. Definition: diseases where microbes, pathogens, are the immediate cause. They can spread in the community, communicable diseases. Infectious agents: viruses, common cold, influenza, dengue, AIDS. Bacteria, typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, anthrax. Fungi, common skin infections. Protozoans, malaria, kala-azar. Worms, intestinal worms, elephantiasis. B. Non-infectious causes. Definition: diseases that are mostly internal and do not spread from person to person. Examples: genetic abnormalities, some cancers, excessive weight/lack of exercise, high blood pressure. Drug action on microbes. Antibiotics, example penicillin, work by blocking biochemical pathways specific to bacteria, like cell wall building. They are ineffective against viruses because viruses do not use these bacterial pathways. Means of spread, transmission, infectious agents are spread through various means. Shutterstock 1. Airborne, microbes spread through droplets from an infected person's sneeze or cough. Examples, common cold, pneumonia, tuberculosis, COVID-19. 2. Waterborne, spread when excreta from an infected person mix with drinking water. Examples, cholera, typhoid. 3. Sexual contact, through close physical contact. Examples, AIDS, HIV, syphilis. Note, HIV can also spread through blood-to-blood contact or from mother to baby. 4. Vectors, animals that carry the infecting agent from a sick person to a healthy person. Common vector, mosquitoes, example transfer malaria-causing microbes. Organ-specific manifestations. Microbes often target a specific tissue or organ once inside the body, determining the signs and symptoms. Lungs, cough, breathlessness, example tuberculosis bacteria. Gut lining/liver, jaundice, stomach pain, example typhoid bacteria, jaundice virus. Brain, headache, vomiting, fits, example Japanese encephalitis virus. Immune response, the body's immune system recruits cells to the affected tissue, inflammation. Effects, local, swelling, pain, and general, fever. HIV, specifically damages the immune system itself, leading to general, severe effects. Principles of treatment and prevention. Treatment 1. Reduce disease effects, provide treatment to reduce symptoms, example painkillers, fever reducers, bed rest. 2. Kill the cause, use specific drugs, like antibiotics for bacteria, that target essential biochemical processes unique to the microbe group. Prevention, better than cure. Prevention is crucial because, 1. Disease can cause permanent body damage, 2. Treatment takes time, and 3. The sick person can spread the infection. 1. General ways, preventing exposure, airborne, avoid overcrowded and poorly ventilated living conditions. Waterborne, provide safe drinking water, example by treating it to kill contamination. Vector-borne, provide clean environments to prevent vector breeding, example mosquito control. Basic health, ensure proper and sufficient food for everyone to maintain a strong immune system. 2. Specific ways, immunization, the body's capacity to produce an immune response naturally or through vaccines. Vaccination, the process of injecting a dead or weakened organism, or an antigenic substance, to train the body's immune system to build specific immunity against that disease. Resources on Earth. Lithosphere, the outer crust of the Earth, land. Hydrosphere, water covering 75% of the Earth's surface, including underground water. Atmosphere, the blanket of air covering the Earth. Biosphere, the life-supporting zone where the atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere interact. Abiotic components, living things. Abiotic components, non-living things, air, water, soil. The breath of life, air composition and role. Air is a mixture, mostly nitrogen $78, oxygen 21 / carbon dioxide approximate 0.03%. Climate control, the atmosphere acts as a blanket, air is a poor heat conductor, keeping the Earth's average temperature steady by preventing sudden increases during the day and slowing heat escape at night. Analogy, the moon has extreme temperature swings due to lack of atmosphere. Carbon dioxide fixation, CO_2% is low because it is fixed by 1. Photosynthesis, green plants convert CO_2 into glucose. 2. Marine life, many marine animals use dissolved carbonates to make shells. Movement of air, winds, caused by the uneven heating of the Earth's atmosphere. Daytime in coastal regions, land heats up faster than the sea to air over land rises, low pressure, to cooler air over the sea moves in, wind flows sea to land. Convection currents, set up when the atmosphere is heated from below by radiation reflected from land/water. Rain 1. Evaporation, water bodies heat up, turning water into water vapor. 2. Rising air, water vapor carrying air rises, expands, and cools. 3. Condensation, cooling causes water vapor to condense into tiny droplets. 4. Precipitation, droplets grow heavy and fall as rain, or snow, sleet, hail if temperature is low. Air pollution causes, burning fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, releases oxides of nitrogen and sulfur. O. These oxides dissolve in rain to acid rain. O. Releases suspended particles, unburnt carbon, hydrocarbons. Smog, lower visibility caused by high levels of pollutants, especially when water condenses out of cold air. Health effects, increased incidence of allergies, cancer, and heart diseases. Water, a wonder liquid. Significance: all cellular processes and biochemical reactions take place in a water medium, substances are dissolved in water. Water transports substances throughout the body. Terrestrial life requires fresh water, cannot tolerate high salt amounts. Water pollution: undesirable substances, addition of things like fertilizers, pesticides, and poisonous industrial waste, example mercury salts. Reduce dissolved oxygen, do any change that reduces do adversely affects aquatic life. Temperature change, sudden temperature changes, example thermal pollution, are dangerous to aquatic organisms and affect breeding. Mineral riches in the soil formation, weathering, sun, causes rocks to expand/contract unevenly due to temperature differences to cracks form. Water, widens cracks, freezing, and wears away hard rock through flowing and abrasion, carried particles rub against rocks. Wind, similar to water, wind erodes rocks and carries sand/particles. Living organisms, organisms like lichens release substances that cause rock surfaces to powder down. Soil composition and quality: soil is a mixture of rock particles and humus, bits of decayed living organisms. Humus, crucial for soil quality, makes soil porous, allows water and air penetration. Topsoil, the topmost layer containing humus and living organisms. Soil erosion, removal of topsoil by wind/water, is difficult to reverse. A root system, roots of plants are vital in preventing soil erosion. Soil pollution, removal of useful components, fertility, and addition of substances, pesticides/fertilizers, that kill soil microorganisms and beneficial life, like earthworms. Biogeochemical cycles: 1. Water cycle: evaporation from water bodies to condensation of vapor to rain to flow back to sea. 2. Nitrogen cycle: nitrogen makes up 78% of the atmosphere, essential for proteins and nucleic acids. Life forms cannot use elemental, it must be fixed into usable forms, nitrates/nitrites. O. Nitrogen fixation, done by nitrogen fixing bacteria, free living or in root nodules of legumes. O. Physical process, lightning converts 2 into oxides of nitrogen, which dissolve in rain to form acids. Plant uptake, plants take up nitrates/nitrites to make amino acids/proteins. Return to atmosphere, specialized bacteria convert nitrates/nitrites back into elemental nitrogen. Shutterstock 3. Carbon cycle: carbon is found as diamond/graphite, atmosphere/water, and in all life forms, carbohydrates, proteins, etc. Incorporation, photosynthesis converts atmospheric dollar into glucose. Release, O. Respiration, glucose is converted back to, released into the atmosphere. O. Combustion, burning processes add to the atmosphere. Greenhouse effect, gases like trap heat escaping from Earth, causing global temperature increase, global warming. Shutterstock 4. Oxygen cycle, oxygen of the atmosphere and present in compounds in the crust/water. Photosynthesis is the major process that releases. Respiration and combustion use the ozone layer. Ozone, a molecule with 3 oxygen atoms, found in the upper atmosphere. Function: absorbs harmful UV radiation from the sun, preventing damage to life on Earth. Depletion: man-made compounds like CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, rise and react with ozone, reducing the layer. Introduction to food resources. Necessity: food provides proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals for body development, growth, and health. Sources: major sources are agriculture, plants, and animal husbandry, animals. Key revolutions: Green Revolution, increased food grain, cereal, production. White Revolution, increased availability and efficient use of milk. Food security, depends on both availability of food and access to it. Integrated farming, combining agriculture with livestock, poultry, fisheries, or beekeeping for sustained livelihood, example mixed farming, intercropping. Major crop types. Crop type: primary nutrient, example cereals, carbohydrates, energy, wheat, rice, maize, sorghum. Pulses: protein, gram, pea, green gram, pigeon pea, arhar. Oil seeds: fat, soybean, groundnut, mustard, sunflower. Vegetables/fruits: vitamins and minerals, various, fodder crops: persimmon, oats, Sudan grass. Food for livestock. Crop seasons: Kharif, rainy season June to October, example paddy, soybean, maize, cotton. Rabi, winter season November to April, example wheat, gram, peas, mustard. Improvement in crop yields. The process involves 3 stages: variety improvement, production improvement, and protection management. A crop variety improvement goal: selecting/breeding crop varieties with useful characteristics for high yield. Methods: 1. Hybridization, crossing between genetically dissimilar plants. Can be intervarietal, different varieties, interspecific, different species, or intergeneric, different genera. 2. Genetically modified crops, GM, introducing a gene to provide a desired characteristic, example pest resistance. Desired improvement factors: higher yield, increased productivity per acre. Improved quality, example baking quality in wheat, oil quality in oilseeds. Biotic/abiotic resistance, resistance to pests/diseases, biotic, and environmental stresses, abiotic, drought, salinity, heat, frost. Short maturity duration, allows farmers to grow multiple crops per year, reduces cost, and ensures uniform harvesting. Desirable agronomic characteristics: dwarfness in cereals, consumes less nutrients, tallness in fodder crops. B. Crop production improvement, nutrient and water management. 1. Nutrient management. Nutrient sources: air, carbon, oxygen, water, hydrogen, soil, 13 essential nutrients. Macronutrients, needed in large quantities, N, P, K, Ca, Mg, S. Micronutrients, needed in small quantities, Fe, Mn, B, Zn, Cu, Mo, Cl. Source nutrients: air, carbon, oxygen, water, hydrogen, soil. N, P, K, Ca, Mg, S. Macro: Fe, Mn, B, Zn, Cu, Mo, Cl. Micro: manure, organic, prepared by decomposition of waste. Function: enriches soil with organic matter and small nutrients, improves soil structure, water holding in sandy soils, drainage in clayey soils. Types: compost, farm waste decomposition, vermicompost, using earthworms, green manure, growing plants like sun hemp and plowing them into the soil. Fertilizers, commercial supply specific nutrients, N, P, K. Ensure good vegetative growth and high yields in high-cost farming. O drawback, excessive use can lead to water pollution, runoff. Organic farming, system with minimal/no use of chemical fertilizers/pesticides, relies on organic manures, biofertilizers, example blue-green algae, and healthy cropping systems. 2 irrigation systems, O wells, dug wells, collect water from shallow strata, tube wells, tap deeper strata. O canals, extensive systems receiving water from reservoirs or rivers. O river lift systems, water is directly drawn from rivers when canal flow is insufficient. O tanks, small reservoirs storing runoff water from catchment areas. 3 cropping patterns. Pattern description. Benefit example growing 2 or more mixed crops simultaneously on cropping the same land. Reduces risk, insurance wheat plus gram, against failure of 1 groundnut plus crop. Sunflower. Growing 2 or more intercrops simultaneously in a cropping definite row pattern, example alternating rows. Ensures maximum nutrient utilization, soybean plus maize, prevents widespread of bajra plus cowpea. Pests/diseases. Crop rotation. Growing different crops in a pre-planned succession allows growing 2 to 3 crops/year with good on the same land. Legume crop, fixes N, followed pattern description. Benefit example harvests, help soil recover nutrients. Buy a cereal crop, needs N. See crop protection management. Loss factors, weeds, insect pests, and diseases. Weeds, unwanted plants compete for food, space, and light, reducing crop growth. Examples Anthium, Parthenium. Insect pests, attack plants by cutting/sucking sap/boring into stems/fruits, reducing yields. Diseases, caused by pathogens, bacteria, fungi, viruses, transmitted through soil, water, and air. Control methods, 1 chemicals, use of pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, fungicides. 2 mechanical removal, for weeds. 3 preventive measures, use of resistant varieties, proper seed bed preparation, timely sowing, intercropping, crop rotation, and summer plowing, destroying weeds/pests in summer heat. D. Storage of grains. Loss factors in storage, abiotic, insects, rodents, fungi, bacteria. O. Abiotic, inappropriate moisture and temperature. Management, 1 cleaning and drying, strict cleaning, proper drying, sunlight, then shade. 2. Fumigation, using chemicals to kill pests before storage. Animal husbandry definition, the scientific management of animal livestock, feeding, breeding, disease control. Includes cattle, poultry, fish, etc. 1. Cattle farming, Bos indica/cows and Bos bubula/buffaloes, purposes, milk production, milch/dairy animals, and draft labor, tilling, irrigation. Variety improvement, crossbreeding local breeds, disease resistance, example Red Cindy, with exotic breeds, long lactation period, example Jersey, Brown Swiss. Feed requirements, O maintenance requirement, food for a healthy life. O milk producing requirement, food required during lactation. O feed types, roughage, high fiber, and concentrates, low fiber, high protein/nutrients. Disease control, vaccinations against viral and bacterial diseases, control of external, skin, and internal, stomach, liver, parasites. 2. Poultry farming, egg and broiler production, goal, raising domestic fowl for egg production and chicken meat, broilers. Variety improvement, crossbreeding indigenous, example Asil, and exotic, example Leghorn, breeds for traits like, O high number/quality of chicks. O dwarf broiler parents, for commercial production. O tolerance to high temperature, summer adaptation. O low maintenance/smaller size, efficient feed use. Feed, Broilers are given protein-rich rations with adequate fat and high levels of vitamins A and K. Disease control. Vaccination is crucial to prevent infectious diseases. 3 fish production methods of obtaining fish. 1 capture fishing, from natural resources, seas, rivers. 2 culture fishery, aquaculture fish farming. Marine fisheries, along coastlines and deep seas. Farming of high economic value marine fish is called mariculture, example mullets, betke, oysters for pearls. Inland fisheries, from freshwater, canals, ponds, rivers, and brackish water, estuaries, lagoons. Composite fish culture, growing 5 to 6 different fish species in a single pond. Rationale, species are selected based on different food habits, example catla/surface feeder, rohu/middle zone, mrigal/bottom feeder, to ensure maximum utilization of food in all parts of the pond without competition. Breeding problem. Natural breeding is difficult in ponds. Solved by using hormonal stimulation to breed fish. For beekeeping, apiculture, products, honey, widely used, and bee wax, used in medicines. Economic value, low investment, provides additional income to farmers. Bee varieties, O local, Apis cerana indica, Indian bee, A dorsata, rock bee. O exotic, Apis mellifera, Italian bee commonly used due to high honey collection capacity, less stinging, long stay in beehive, and good breeding. Honey quality, depends on pasturage, flowers available to the bees for nectar and pollen collection. Thank you.